Hi, everybody. Gianni DePoce here with you for Theo Trade, and today is Tuesday, the 7th of January, 2025. And normally, this would be the first full trading week of the year, but since we have former President Jimmy Carter's funeral on Thursday, markets will be closed in observance of the funeral event. So, taking a look at markets here, we had a really strong start to the week, and I think what happened is it led to a lot of traders kind of chasing the long entries in many names in the markets. And normally you see pictures and memes and whatnot of a bunch of traders rushing to the exits, trying to get out of a stock that's imploding, but it's really not that different in terms of entries as well. And when entries become crowded, the market has a tendency to slow down as well. So that's what I think is playing out here in stocks right now. You're seeing the S&P down 1%, giving back all of Monday's gains and more. You are seeing the NASDAQ lead the way lower down over 1.5%, about 1.7% right now. Have a little bit less than an hour left in the trading day. The Dow down about 0.5%, and the Russell down about a full percent. So, a bit of a risk off signal today, but I do still like what's happening in the semiconductor space, down less than the NASDAQ right now. I think this is going to be a big theme this year, kind of the marriage between traditional semiconductors and quantum computing chips. I think that's going to play out. The trade may be a bit crowded near term, may see some of the weak hands shaken out here in the coming days and weeks. But if you take a look at NVIDIA, you are down 5.5% on the day, but don't let it have you lose sight about the fact that we just hit a new all-time high. And as a rule, all-time highs are bullish. Markets follow trends. Individual stocks follow trends. And any market that is making a new all-time high, since we are trend following traders, we like to consider that as bullish. So, you might see a little bit more backfilling here in NVIDIA, but you take a look at some of the other big cap, mega cap tech names like Apple, you're seeing some selling there. Google was holding up pretty good earlier today. It's now dropped into negative territory, but, no signs of a real topping formation there. Amazon still range bound near the highs. Meta actually looking pretty strong compared to its peers. I'm watching Netflix closely here. It looks like it could be trying to bottom out. I actually wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow or Wednesday was a rather quiet day in the stock market. And then if we came back after the market closure on Thursday to some strong buying activity, I'm still looking at the path of least resistance being higher in stocks. We do have that swing long entry on advanced micro devices. And then we had the breakout style trade on Taiwan Semiconductor. And here too, you hit a new all-time high yesterday. You broke above technical resistance as showed by this line right here. And whenever resistance breaks, it becomes support. So we're going to be looking for a higher low to form, perhaps come back down and fill this gap. But I'm already kind of gathering a sense of panic by a lot of traders that aren't really trading with level heads and with cool heads, kind of just following the whims of the market. And that's not the way to trade. That's not the way to trade. And not just in this tape, but in any tape for that matter. So, things to keep an eye on. You're seeing some pretty hard selling in cryptocurrencies. I actually welcome this pullback right now in Bitcoin. I'd like to see it build out a new base over the next couple of weeks. For perspective, Bitcoin spent several months last year doing close to nothing, kind of lulled everybody to sleep before it then proceeded to rally over 100% in the span of 3 months. So, any market that has an impressive run up like Bitcoin just did displays really strong and healthy characteristics by spending time going sideways. And that's exactly what I'm looking for Bitcoin to do. Ethereum seeing a bit harder selling. I think this is an opportunity to buy the dips. I like what's happening in Ethereum. I do have positions that we had really good entries on in MicroStrategy closer to the low there. You are down hard on the day, but you look at some of these other crypto stocks. I'm actually holding the least amount of crypto now. I have a little bit, but crypto related stocks now on the books than I have in really like the last several months. So it's something to keep an eye on here, but I do think there will be some opportunities sooner rather than later. Just to check in on what's happening in the quantum space, Rigetti Computing hit a new all-time high yesterday. Looking for some sideways action here. IonQ hitting a new all-time high today. And you also have Quantum Computing Inc., which has been actually consolidating its gains very nicely here. So I don't think that story is over just yet. We talk about this in the Trinity trade, kind of the three sectors driving this new bull market: quantum, crypto, and of course nuclear. You had nano nuclear energy up over 20, well, around 20% yesterday, giving some of that back today. NuScale Power had a big up day yesterday, giving back all of those gains. So I still like what's happening in uranium. Again, just requires a little bit of patience, I think. But I'm not going to lie and tell you that I'm not worried about what's happening in the bond market. This could be a point of vulnerability for stocks, kind of a soft spot in the underbelly of the market. Now, one of the things that I think needs to happen for bonds to find a bottom, you can see that the 30-year bond is leading the sell-off, is it would be very helpful for crude oil prices to experience a notable drop. And even though we've rallied here over the last couple of weeks, we are still below this very important resistance zone between 76 and 78. Okay. And so as long as we're below there, I'm not really buying this whole new bull market idea in energy. That being said, in the Theo Trade chat room, we have picked up a couple related energy plays in EQT, which has been working. And even today in Antero Resources, looking pretty decent, or like it has some upside momentum. So, it's important to distinguish between an opinion and a trade. If I see a good setup, I'm willing to consider it, even if I don't like the broader sector. So I don't think that this rally in oil will last much longer, but I'm also not ruling out the possibility that some of these energy related names will have impressive runs before energy rolls over again. Now, there are still some trades in the portfolio working. I'm going to jump over to China. I'm watching China really closely here. I think we could be approaching a bottom of significance. I think it's very sensitive to movements in the Fed right now. It seems like rate cut expectations are being pushed back, but we are going to have some important data coming up in the not so distant future that could help give us a little bit more clarity. I don't think the Fed is going to stick with this hawkish stance. And again, a lot of it is dependent on crude oil. But on the China front, I do have a position here in GDS, a pretty clean breakout. That entry triggered yesterday. It's looking pretty good. Nice follow through to the upside, even though we're off the highs of the day. I do like this. You have some good evidence of accumulation on this stock. But, a couple other names I'm watching over in China include BYD, kind of the equivalent of Tesla in China. I like what's happening there. If it does anything similar to what Tesla has done over the last several months or last few months here, we could be in for a big surprise on that front. So don't become tied down to only what's happening in the US. Remember, it's a global market of stocks, so much opportunity. Another name that's moving well today in a position that triggered yesterday, GeneDx, biotech slash healthcare name. Biotech trying to make a comeback here. Was up nicely today, faded off notably from the highs, but that's kind of what I'm looking at a bird's eye level. Seeing some nice price action in names like Joby, as well. Aviation related names. Archer just hit a new high today as well. So I think in this tape, guys, we just have to be patient, realize that the market's been very good for a few months, and that this sideways choppy price action should be embraced with open arms, and just focus on the strongest setups. Only take what the market is telling you to get, and just recognize also that cash is a position, and that being patient will reward you in the long run. So that's what we're looking at right now. Hope you enjoyed. Don and I will be going live together on Friday as we kick off the $1 Million Trading Challenge. So hope you can join it and definitely check it out if you haven't done so already. And of course, we have all sorts of great setups coming around in the Trinity trade with just regular buying of stocks. That's all for now, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the Theo Trade chat room.